Late Friday night, a furious altercation between two of boxing's top stars, Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis, turned into a violent scene outside a Miami club. Personal insults, nasty remarks about families, and threats of physical confrontation entered the public eye, turning what started out as a laid-back night out into a startling sight. Starting with the build-up to the chaotic moment, let's dissect the startling events that transpired one by one. It was a normal night in Miami, where VIPs, athletes, and celebrities frequent the city's vibrant nightlife. This was also true of the town's trendiest club, which drew well-known figures from the sports world, such as boxing champions Gervonta Davis and Terence Crawford. After months of rigorous training and ring battles, both fighters had recently achieved significant victories and were eager to rest and recuperate. The two celebrities were initially kept apart in the club, but as the evening went on, destiny had other ideas. They ultimately came into contact, and what at first glance appeared to be a cordial exchange soon took a sinister turn. The incident was described by witnesses who were at the club as Davis approaching Crawford, apparently seeking a fight. What started off as light-hearted banter between the two swiftly turned into a far more intimate conversation. Known for his feisty demeanor and tendency to spew hate speech, Davis didn't hold back. In front of everyone, he took jabs at Crawford's family and made harsh comments about them. Given that Crawford is regarded as a family man and that disparaging his loved ones was inappropriate, the attacks hit home. The insults continued after that. Davis then focused on Crawford's boxing career and his desire to challenge the current super middleweight champion, Canelo Alvarez. This was the decisive event. "Canelo doesn't even care about you, man," Davis said, making fun of Crawford for trying to fight Canelo in order to get a paycheck. "All you're searching for is a large salary. The chances of you facing him are slim to none." This comment hit Crawford hard. He had been vocal about his ambitions to face Canelo, a fight that many critics considered to be too big a leap, given that Crawford has been a dominant force in the welterweight division while Canelo is a much larger fighter. Despite the doubts, Crawford had made it clear that if the opportunity and the money were right, he would take the challenge. But hearing Davis mock him in such a public setting was a bridge too far. For a time, Crawford kept his calm. He brushed aside the remarks, choosing not to engage in the trash talk. But when Davis continued to provoke him, the mood grew increasingly hostile. In an instant, the quiet and controlled Terence Crawford lost his cool. He abruptly charged at Davis and launched a punch, catching everyone by surprise. Security instantly came to the area to break up the argument, but by that moment, the commotion was already in full swing. The club became a whirlwind of people shouting, cameras flashing, and uncertainty spreading throughout the room. What made this episode so stunning wasn't only the physical altercation, but the reality that this rivalry between Crawford and Davis had been simmering for months, partly fueled by social media posts and public insults. The beef between the two was no secret. It all began when Crawford made fun of Davis for not being invited to Turkey Alex's VIP Ring Awards party, a prominent event in London. Davis took offense at Crawford's remark and responded by accusing him of pursuing financial gain rather than professional excellence. Although it was obvious from that moment that their relationship had soured, none could have foreseen that it would ultimately turn violent. Davis was not afraid to voice his disapproval, particularly over Crawford's choice to increase his weight to 168 pounds in order to challenge Canelo. Davis had little trouble echoing the many boxing fans who had questioned if Crawford was really prepared for such a bout. He made fun of the entire notion of the bout and ridiculed Crawford, saying that Canelo had no interest in facing him. "Do you believe Canelo is interested in you? He has more important things to do," Davis allegedly remarked. all you're after is a paycheck. Despite the difficulties, Crawford has made it clear that he wanted to face Canelo. After establishing himself in the welterweight class, he had advanced to the super middleweight division. Crawford had been considering a bout with Canelo for a while, but Davis wasn't amenable. He scoffed at the notion, further derisively referring to Crawford's bout as a pipe dream. This prepared the ground for the ensuing heated discussion. The club's supporters were left in shock as the altercation played out. Within minutes, the situation had transformed from friendly banter to full-scale mayhem. However, the underlying causes of this conflict are far more profound than the spectacle. What transpired last night was merely the climax of the two parties' long dispute, which has been escalating for months. Both fighters appeared unwilling to back down, and the taunts, insults, and personal punches had escalated to a boiling point. For months, boxing has been buzzing with the intrigue around Crawford's possible bout with Canelo. Despite being the undisputed champion at 147 pounds, some experts think Crawford has little chance against Canelo because he is a much bigger and stronger boxer. Regardless of the weight disparity, some think Crawford poses a real threat to Canelo because of his skill set and boxing IQ. However, it was evident that things had escalated to a new level when Davis made fun of Crawford for wanting to take on Canelo. The boxing world is deeply divided over this whole affair. Some supporters contend that Crawford is only looking for a big payout, while others think he is pursuing a bout that can define his career. Many people have described the game as more of a spectacle than a real competitive competition. However, in recent months, the anticipation for the possible fight with Canelo has only increased. It is also impossible to ignore Davis's part in the entire situation. Davis is well known for having an exaggerated personality that has always managed to create controversy and make headlines. In addition to being personally hurtful, his taunts of Crawford and his family were also intended to elicit a reaction. In many respects, it's obvious that Davis is creating buzz for his own brand or for upcoming bouts. Fans expressed their thoughts on social media as the scenario developed. Some took Crawford's side, arguing that Davis had gone too far including family in the conflict. Others thought Davis was just stirring things up and keeping people talking, which is what he does best. The incident ultimately did nothing more than heighten the atmosphere surrounding both boxers. Rumor has it that Davis is in negotiations for a huge rematch with Ryan Garcia, as if the animosity between Crawford and Davis wasn't enough to keep fans on the edge of their seats. Turkey Alex, a significant player in the boxing promotion industry, is reportedly supporting a $150 million transaction that is on the table. The mystery surrounding Davis is considerably increased by the fact that he has such substantial financial support. It's obvious from all of the drama and excitement surrounding Davis that he's setting himself up for a final big battle before maybe leaving the sport. Crawford, on the other hand, has seen growth in his career. Crawford has made it clear that he will fight anyone for the proper price after recently winning a significant fight in the 154-pound class. Many have conjectured that a fight with Canelo might be his next big move, and Crawford hasn't indicated any intention of backtracking from the challenge. However, his future in the sport may be seriously impacted by this most recent incident, particularly given the public backlash between him and Davis. Fans, sponsors, and boxing promoters are all keeping a close eye on this fight because it could have far-reaching repercussions. Would Crawford's chances of getting a fight with Canelo be impacted by the fallout from the altercation? Will Davis's chances of earning large sums of money in his upcoming bouts be impacted by this incident? The stakes are higher than ever, but only time will tell. There is still much to be done in the struggle for legacy, income, and self-esteem. One thing is for sure, This is a feud that is only beginning, regardless of whether Crawford and Davis spar in person or continue their rivalry online. Although both men have big things in store for them, the outcome of this controversy may have a long-term effect on their boxing careers and legacies. Inquiring as to whether this altercation will result in an official bout between the two boxing titans, fans are already giddy with excitement. Would a Crawford versus Davis matchup be as exciting as it seemed? Or will they grow more distant as a result of the fallout from this incident? Time will tell, but one thing is for sure: the boxing community is keeping a close eye on things, anticipating the next development in this tense rivalry.